Welcome to WatchNut TV and another edition of What's in the Box. I recently watched The Bourne Legacy and noticed that Jeremy Renner's character, Aaron Cross, was wearing an IWC chronograph. Thought that was pretty nifty and looked a little farther. The IWC Pilot's watches have always been my favorites of their lineup, so I enlisted the help of my local friends at Jack Ryan Fine Jewelry and Watches, who allowed me to borrow this one to do a review. So let's see what's in the box. This is, in fact, one of the newer models of the Dopple Chronograph. This is the 379901 Top Gun Pilot's Dopple Chronograph, which is a split-second chronograph or Radipante chronograph or flyback chronograph. They have lots of different names, but many similar features. This particular watch movement, which is the IWC caliber 79-230, is based upon a heavily reworked base of the ETA value 7750P1, an obviously time-tested movement. IWC rebuilds the heck out of these things. They used to be able to buy just parts kits from Swatch, but Swatch has gone now to selling only complete movements. And I don't know if that means IWC has to buy them, tear them apart, and put their own components in them, or if they maybe are grandfathered and can still get them from Swatch as components. Hard to tell. I'd like to know, but I have no real way of finding out. This watch is a newer size 46 millimeter case. It is all ceramic cased. It uses titanium buttons and fittings and utilizes a titanium case back, so it's extremely light for its size. I mean, it's as I mentioned, it's 46 millimeters wide, and if you include the domed crystal, about 18 millimeters thick, which is big, but when you consider they've got to add the mechanics for the flyback chronograph mechanism as well as the soft iron anti-magnetic core, it's really not a terribly thick or terribly huge watch. It features a 22 millimeter wide strap. In this case, it's a nylon outer with a leather lining. The dial layout on these newer watches I find really nicely legible. Increasing the case size obviously increases the dial size. You can see they've done some neat things. They've got now kind of a panoramic day-date window. I'm glad that IWC has kept the day display that's inherent in the 7750 movement, but most manufacturers tear out and don't use. I think it's nice to have a day and a date feature. If you're not familiar with the concept of Radipante or split-second chronograph, I'll give you a little demonstration here. The seconds counter, as it moves around the main display, actually consists of two hands. Some manufacturers do a better job of hiding the second hand than others. IWC, in fact, does a very good job of hiding the secondary second hands counter until you press the crown at 10, which in essence halts the seconds counter at wherever you stopped it and allows the primary seconds counter to keep running. So you just in essence have kind of a secondary stop set feature for the seconds at that point. And when you reset that counter by again depressing the same button, the two hands fly back and join each other again. I don't know if you notice that kind of little bounce, but the hands are lightweight and large, and the G-force on them just kind of causes a cute little bounce in them as they go back together. It's a fairly delicate mechanism, and unfortunately for a lot of manufacturers, they don't continue to work well over time because the hands don't stand up to the wear. IWC does not have that particular problem when they build theirs. They consistently operate for many years. As far as the rest of the package goes, let's kind of take a look at the box set. IWC does a very nice job of packaging their watches. Obviously a very nice large size display box. They include a polishing cloth, which is very nice high quality polishing cloth, which is I think a nice gesture for any watch manufacturer. And they do include, go to the trouble of producing instruction manuals that are specific to a given model watch and a given movement. Obviously multi-language support, but it's nice to see them take the time to actually produce a instruction manual geared for a specific watch that is worth something to take the time to read, as opposed to a lot of manufacturers who sell high-end chronographs and don't bother to give you much explanation on how they actually individually function. So anyway, I think it's a great watch. I obtained this as a loaner from my friends at Jack Ryan Jewelry. I'm not trying to sell it. It's not for sale at WatchNut, but I will append the Jack Ryan Jewelry contact information at the end of this presentation. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. It's probably my favorite, if not one of my favorite double chronographs of all time, and really a beautiful piece of equipment. Thank you very much.